Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Make Things Monday, episode 4. I'm joined by Hunger Service. Hunger Service, say hi.
Yo, what's going on? Hi. What's going on? How have you been, Z?
I've been doing good, Hunger Service. This is definitely my first time ever meeting you. We never talked before.
I
I
know.
like it's so good to meet you,
Yeah,
whoever you
absolutely.
are, whatever you do.
Yeah.
Since I don't know anything about you, why don't you tell the nice people about who you are?
My name is LA, like the city. But I'm not from Los Angeles. I'm a former sushi chef for 10 years. I quit to become a photographer, and in that time frame I was learning a whole lot more about cooking, and then at some point it was like, oh, let me try and add a camera and see what happens, and that's how the Hunger Service was born. And I've been streaming on Twitch for 4 years next month. So
Nice. Yes, you do cooking streams now 3 days a week, streaming and making foods, and people can watch.
Yep.
And maybe some video games sometimes sprinkled in there, possibly.
Yeah, definitely. I game already off stream, so I like sometimes add that in, a little spice.
So if you're not familiar with Make Things Money, the way this is going to work is I've got our brand new guest here for the show. We're going to talk about some projects that we've been working on, some things that we do on and off stream, just to keep ourselves creative and busy during these quarantine and lonely times. And during this entire show and anytime during the week, you can go over to our Discord. That's !Discord in chat, or link in the video description down below. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can go over to the Make Things Monday channel and submit things there, because after the main talky part of this stream, we're going to go into that channel, check out what you guys have been doing, and do a little show and tell and talk about projects that y'all have been doing and things that we're doing together, just to be creative and be fun and flex some of those creative muscles that we don't get to show off anymore, because like we have to stay super far apart from everybody.
Right.
So that's been fun. Speaking of staying super far apart from everybody, Hunger, you and I met through a mutual friend of ours who I see here.
Yep. There she is.
And also, we used to hang out at conventions. Remember those?
Oh, yeah. Imagine conventions. Amazing.
I remember conventions.
Yeah.
And some of what you did with your photography stuff is photographs at conventions. Tell us what that's about. What does that entail?
Yeah. So, basically, I mainly go to like anime or comic book conventions for photography, and what ends up happening is I get hired beforehand to do cosplay photo shoots, and they'll hire me. They'll ask for a specific time frame, and I'll work with them during the weekend, and then we would collab and work on getting the photos that they want, and then after the fact they get to pick out the photos, and that's what happened like at least once a month before COVID happened, and now that's not really a thing anymore. At least for now, right?
How about this? I have a cool, sweet costume, and I would like to get photographs done of it. What's the process for that?
Basically, they would contact me, and then we would talk about what the cosplay is and what sort of scene or story they want to tell with the photos, and we'll see how feasible some of these things are. I am very much will go to a location and photograph, and I don't do like crazy like photo background replacement and stuff like that, but try to keep it like still relatively like grounded in reality. But yeah, and then we work on the style, and we'll do the shoot, and then after the fact we'll collab again and go through the editing process, usually back and forth together, or like in a video chat, and we'll talk about the editing procce. But
do you usually schedule this like during a convention, before a convention, after convention? When does this usually happen?
So for conventions, since I travel, it gives me an opportunity to work with people outside of my local area. So that would be during conventions, but otherwise, if they're local or they're in the area, I'll work with them whenever. So I'm not particularly bound to conventions. It's just easier, and most people get their costumes done for conventions, so it's easier for them to like kind of plan around those versus like just have a random shoot from whenever they want, right?
Yeah, man, it's so sad. I have like, we got like a lot of cosplay friends. I know you and I both have a lot of cosplay
Right.
friends, and it's so sad seeing them now. They're posting pictures on Twitter. It's like, this is what I would have worn at this convention this year. I'm
Right.
like, no, there's no places showing off. And like, look at these projects I'm doing if I had a convention to go to, and that's how it always is. Like, this is a costume I would have done at this thing. I'm like, it's
And
so
then
sad.
it's always like look at us at a convention last year, and we're like, oh man, that feels like so long ago now. But
Yeah, I mean, it's been a whole year since we actually basically had a con. The last big con was probably PAX East, which happened
that
in
we were at
February.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was
Although being Texas, we did still have an anime convention in December.
I heard about it. There was a lot of uproar about it. I forgot which anime convention
It
it
was
but
bad. It was really, really bad. Like every single guest got COVID. Like legit every
really?
like every single guest all got COVID. Who would have thought that going to the convention and meeting people and shaking hands with people, everybody got COVID? What a surprise. At least all the named guests all was like, so I went to guest at this convention and I got COVID. Who would have thought?
yeah. That's the play stupid games, right?
Yeah.
With stupid friends. Yeah.
2020 was supposed to be the year that my wife started doing a lot more conventions to sell her artwork, going to a lot of anime conventions, doing a lot of artwork stuff there. And we had to cancel all of our plans. And we had a few shows that we're not sure of, just some local art shows that we've been really, really hesitant about going to. We have one at the end of this month, and we're really doing it because we have like a whole 10 by 10, so it gives us some nice space to like kind of scoot away from people.
Yeah. Oh, have you done like a lot of like virtual conventioning, like or have you ever like had any luck with that stuff?
So there's like the virtual art cons, and those have been really difficult to get into. Haven't really like spent a lot of time with the virtual art cons, but then there's also the virtual gaming conventions that I do for my stuff and streaming. And I gotta say, virtual gaming conventions are such a letdown. Like, oh man, there has not been a single virtual gaming convention that I went to that's like scratched that itch that I'm looking for, that like social hanging out, make friends, do networking itch that I really want to go to conventions for. Like, I still get to see the game trailers and stuff, but I don't care about that. I'm not going to conventions to care about game trailers. I want to talk to my friends and hang out with exhibitors and party and stuff. I mean, like, don't need to party, but like the actual around the con where we hang out and talk to people, I miss that.
Because like at the end of the day, like if you didn't go to the convention, you're still gonna have the trailer. So like having a virtual convention kind of just like, oh, we're watching trailers together, I guess.
Yeah, right.
You know?
It's not the same.
It's not the same.
Although there was one Fig, I think, is the one that just happened recently, FIG. And another before it. Both of those had like virtual booths that made it really nice. They basically partnered with a game or a web-based game that a bunch of developers redesigned a space within the game or within the web interface. So you have a little avatar, you get to walk around, and you get to see what they set up and stuff. So that was a little bit nicer to be able to see people walk around.
Yeah.
But that most of it sent you over to Discord to actually like interact with people, and it's not the same interacting with people on Discord.
No, definitely not.
So, hunger. How do you keep coming up with plans for what to eat every day, every 3 days a week? Because my meals, I'll be honest, like I just rotate through my comfort meals pretty regularly. There's like every month, we'll try something new, but mostly it's just remixes on things that I know how to make, I know how to eat.
I mean, typically there's usually at least one recipe in there that I'm remaking from before, mainly because like either I want to improve on it or like solidify a recipe that I am happy with, which is a little difficult in general. But yeah, I normally garner my inspiration. My community will offer uh, random suggestions, or they'll see something that someone else has made or like went viral, and they're like, "Hey, can you make this?" Uh, so the community helps, and then a lot of it's just me going through like say, because my background in culinary is sushi and Pan Asian cooking, so
I think you
there's
killed someone
plenty.
making puffer fish, and so you're not allowed to work in the industry anymore, right?
That's what no. Um, uh, though I'm definitely
You're not
terrified
allowed to
of.
talk about it.
No, I'm not allowed to
I
talk about it. No,
understand.
we can't talk about the pufferfish
Yeah. Oh
incident.
God, that dang fugu.
Though like they still have a Twitch, so I don't want to talk about it. Um, but yeah, there's a lot of different recipes I haven't, or I've eaten before but never have made, and that's how I kind of like play into my streams. Like, okay, I've had sundubu jjigae before, which is a tofu soup, and
Mhm.
never made it before. So I'm like, let's just make it on stream. I've never made it before. I'm gonna go just do it on the fly and see what happens. And it's like a lot of times it'll turn out well, but sometimes it won't, and then I'll remake it again. So there's still that element of like, will it come out all right too? So
Let me
yeah.
let me tell everybody watching the biggest secret of all cooking content creators. You don't know if it's actually good. If they just pretend like it's good, you'll never know. And here's a double kicker. If you try to copy a recipe from like a cooking show or a cooking stream and it turns out bad, you'll assume that you did it wrong. And so you'll never think that, oh man, the streamer has a bad recipe. You just think like, what did I do wrong? Did I add too much salt? He said put in 3 cups of salt. Did I put too much?
3 cups of salt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It might, maybe I accidentally used too much, and people just assume that it's their fault. All you got to do is just pretend like it's good, and they'll never know. That's the secret. That's a secret that nobody wants you to know.
Well, the fun thing. Oh, I haven't been able to do it recently, but I used to have people come through stream and eat. But so far so good.
Wait, okay. How many of them come back to guest on the show a second time?
Oh, I mean, like my roommate always eats my food now. So
well, they're stuck with you. Like you're the one cooking. What are they gonna do? Not eat food that's in front of them? That doesn't count. All right.
I mean, I have friends that come through on a regular, but like the people that have been to stream, they've usually been fellow streamers, and they've been out of towners. So I haven't had anyone back yet. I mean, Tiny's been on my stream before.
See, that's it. That's what I'm telling you guys. He hasn't had anyone back. It could have been really terrible.
Yeah.
Look, listen. It's just so bad. They had it, and they're like, what kind of excuses can I give to not try Hunger's food again? That's the key behind the name Hunger Service, is that you're still going to be hungry after eating the food because you don't want to actually eat it.
Oh, man.
Oh, now we know. What's the worst thing you've ever cooked?
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, like if we hit certain goals, sometimes I'll make a gross recipe on stream. And that could be anything from like, if you ever looked at like lists of like terrifying food from the 50s, I've probably gone down that list.
In gelatin?
Yeah. Just spaghetti jello, pho jello.
Yeah, hot dog jello, like everything in jello, right? Like the war happened, and now we just have extra jello.
For whatever reason,
stick everything in jello.
Yeah, I've made a tuna jello pie. That's yeah.
I want to imagine it was a whole tuna. Like it was just an entire whole fish, scales and all,
slapped it in there
in a pie.
But yeah, I mean, I've made okra and do you like okra?
Wait. Do you dislike okra?
I dislike okra.
What?
Okra's like on my shit.
Oh my god, dude. Like I thought it was gonna like you started with I made okra and like is that it? Is that the bad part? It was like, oh, I made something real gross. I mean, it was okra. I
mean, it was like an okra pie. And it was just like slimy, like
well, look,
weird.
Honestly, I only really have okra in gumbo.
Yeah, that and everyone's like, "Oh, of course, great in gumbo." I'm sure it's great in gumbo, but otherwise, it just sucks. It's just
I never really have it
slimy.
outside of gumbo, so like contextually, if I were surprised by okra, okay, I've had fried okra too. Fried okra is also delicious. You're right.
Fried okra is acceptable.
You're right. It is
Because
delicious.
it gets rid of most of that slime. But
Well, no, it's still slimy on the inside. You eat fried okra, it's still got that goo there.
oh no, I cut it thin enough where the slime
Oh, it's like the good
It's like
bits
okra
of it,
chips.
though.
um
Oh, man.
but like bitter melon I still
Oh
can't.
my God, thank you. I'm glad you brought it up because that's the only thing I won't eat. That's the one thing. And it's such an Asian thing. Like, do your parents like bitter melon?
Yeah, my parents love
Right?
bitter melon.
Oh my God. Asian parents love bitter melon. It's like, it's like
Why
that
is this
healthy
good?
food for you. Like, I feel like it's an experience a lot of Asian people share, like white kids not liking Brussels sprouts, because I never got that, like the Brussels sprout experience, like ew, Brussels sprouts. And eating it now as an adult, I hear that Brussels sprouts taste different now than they used to because of genetic and because you just breed food to taste better.
Yep.
And so I hear Brussels sprouts used to be real disgusting and super bitter. So I'm like, I didn't get that experience, but I do hate bitter melon. And here's what bitter melon is for anybody who's never had bitter melon. Wait, I don't need to describe it. I can just pull it up. This is the wonder of the internet and the beauty of technology is let's just swap over to the second screen here. This is what bitter melon looks like. Hunger, describe to us the taste of bitter melon.
It tastes like 2020. It's like when you don't cook it, it's like got a crunchiness to it that's not exactly pleasing. It's really, really bitter. Like
That's it. There you go. That's the description of bitter melon. It is bitter. It's bitter as heck.
You take like if you're drinking coffee black, right? That has a bitterness. It's like 3 times that bitterness. Like it's like pucker your cheeks. Like
do you have stream open and you can see the meal that I'm hovering over right now?
Oh yeah,
this is my most offensive version of bitter melon, because let me describe this meal. This is you basically have taken delicious dumpling stuffing. Right, we have some nice dumpling stuffing here, and then we stuff it inside the bitter melon, and then you boil it. And what this does is it makes that delicious dumpling stuffing bitter, so it just ruins everything. It just imparts the bitterness onto that delicious meat filling that if you just had it, it would be delicious dumpling stuffing. Like every single process of this is like it was going great, and then you slapped it in bitter melon, and then you boil it, and it was ruined. And my grandma loves making this meal, and every time I have it at her house, I pick out the bitter melon, and I just like, I'm gonna eat this and just be upset that bitter melon was involved in any way whatsoever.
Yeah, I've made that dish before actually. That was one of the attempts to make it good.
I remember so
eating
upsetting.
it being like just disappointed. It's just disappointment.
It has the texture of like a bell pepper before you raw and cooked. It's got like the texture of bell pepper, but it looks like you took a cucumber and you started pickling it and you just gave it like a venereal disease, and and it just like got out of control. It looks like the outbreak of a venereal disease has just gotten all over a cucumber, and then Asians are like, "This is healthy for you. You should eat it."
What like it's like one of those things is like, do you just believe it's healthy because it's bitter?
God, I hate it. I hate the existence of bitter melon. I love eating. Have you ever had balut?
Yes.
I love balut. So if you don't know what balut is, and I'll let you decide if you want to Google balut if you never heard this before. It's fertilized duck eggs. Mm-hmm. And so you eat the fertilized duck eggs at a different age range, as much crunch as you'd like to it.
Right.
How crunchy do you like your unborn duck baby?
Not crunchy. Not that crunchy. I prefer
like
less
it.
crunch.
I think it's how long does it take for a duck to hatch? I think it's like it's 28 days. Okay. Then I like it. Okay. I know I like it at about 9 to 10 days because that's before feathers get involved.
Oh,
and
yeah,
that's like
bad.
that's my line. Like, I don't want the feathers because they get stuck in your teeth. And so if I crack open the egg and I pull out the duck baby, and you put a little salt and a little lime, and honestly, I don't really enjoy the taste of it. But what makes it really good is I eat it around my American friends. And that's what makes it delicious. Like, you sit down, you have your American friends, and you're like, hey, what are we eating today? You're like, shh, don't worry, baby, don't worry. Shh. Just, we're eating eggs today. Like, wow, these are some really big eggs. Like, yeah, they are, huh?
That's a funny story from the beginning of the pandemic, though, because you know how like everything was getting sold out? Like all the kitchen standards were being sold out, including eggs, and people were starting to say, "Hey, yeah, you can get eggs at your local like Asian market." And apparently, people started buying cartons of eggs, but they didn't know it was balut. So,
but here's the real question: is like, did you grab these eggs and then think it's like, wow, why are these so expensive? Like, did that not cross their minds? Like, wow, these eggs are like 5 times the price of regular eggs. How much could a banana cost? $5? Like, is that? Yeah, that was your fault. They would have been unrefrigerated. They would have been in the Asian store. You would have been in a special spot in there. You would have been 5 times the price. And you're like, why am I buying a $20 carton of eggs? And at that point, you should have really thought about how much you wanted eggs for breakfast if you're buying a $20 carton of eggs.
Oh, funny enough, like I think a 12 cart of balut here in Orlando, I think it's like $8, so it wasn't that far off. Like, I mean, it's pretty. That's still double, triple the price of a.
Yeah, you can buy a
regular
12 carton of eggs for like $1 or $2.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's funny just thinking about like someone who's like cracking open an egg for breakfast and be like,
Okay, have you ever gotten a double yolk egg?
yes.
Only once. I've only ever gotten it once. It's so exciting though. It really makes your day to get a double yolk egg.
You're like
it's a
wow,
it's a
2 for
life-changing
1.
experience. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's happened a few times before. Like, I mean, I go through eggs a lot on stream too. So like, I think I've gotten a double egg on stream once. And it's like finding a shiny Pokemon.
I like to propose that chickens are the perfect meal. Like when God invented animals, they're like, I want one animal that is just delicious no matter what. At any stage in its life, it is going to be the most delicious as possible, and the chicken was born. And there's not many animals that will take a grown animal and then rub it in its unborn baby. And it gets better, right? Like, that's what we do with chickens. We just take a born one and we kill the mom and then rub it in its unborn baby, and there you go. That's delicious food. Unless you count like milk steak. I guess milk steak is kind of the same, but it's not like we're not rolling the cow and the baby. We're just rolling in milk.
Right.
You can't milk a chicken. That's the only drawback of chicken. If we could have chicken milk, it'd be the perfect animal.
Now like now that's in my as far as going back to like milk steak, like I didn't know the reference of milk steak. And someone was like, why don't you make milk steak? I was like, what is milk steak?
Wait, the reference? What reference are you talking about?
Milk steak?
Yeah.
Apparently it was like on I forgot what show it was. I don't watch it though.
Probably Always Sunny.
Always Sunny?
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know the reference, and someone like early on when I started streaming was like, "Hey, can you make milk steak?" I'm like,
Hell yeah, milk steak, man, it's good stuff. It's good food. I had one real fail of my cooking meals when I do cooking streams, and that's when I tried to make gravy. And I was trying to make a roux from the chicken drippings. I did a roast chicken with a garlic butter rub, and tried to use the drippings to make a roux. Mm-hmm. And I totally did not count on too much butter to the rest of the chicken drippings, and I could not get the roux to look anything less than a swampy, disgusting slop.
Did you keep like adding flour to it, or like did you like cut your losses? at some
I
point.
like cut my losses twice and I restarted twice. And I was like, I just like got the ratio way wrong, and it's like I was so scared when I was making a roux later on. Like, I'm never gonna be able to make a roux. And I was like, look, you guys were there. You guys saw. I'm pretty sure it was the oil, the flour. It might have been the. I don't know. I did not need to cook it longer because it was separating. There was just oil and burnt flour is all I was making. It was just a bowl of oil and burnt flour twice. It doesn't matter how much I would have stirred it because that flour cooked. And if the flour had cooked in the roux, I'm just making tiny pellets of bread. Right. I have tiny burnt bread pellets in oil, and that's what I did. But I was a very intelligent man, and I bought a pre-made gravy mix, and so it was perfect.
That's one thing about cooking streams. There's always has to be at least one backup plan.
Yep, that's why I keep ramen on the shelf, because if it things go terribly wrong, I still have ramen.
Yeah.
What is the best thing to add to ramen to kick it up? What's your go-to ramen improvement recipe? Wait. Before that, favorite ramen brand?
Shin.
I like Mama ramen.
Mama.
Oh. It comes in a square, in like a silver foil square if you're eating like the shrimp flavor. Mama ramen, that's my favorite brand.
I don't think I've ever had that one. I just bought a new one, which it looks really interesting because it's in a long packet, so the noodles aren't compressed; they're just in strings.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'll take a picture of it at some point. But
do you remember the brand? Look, we can pull it up. We got the magic of the internet. We can pull things up. You don't remember the brand?
It doesn't have an English name.
Okay. Look, this is Mama ramen. My favorite is the shrimp flavor Mama ramen, or yeah. And it is definitely super good. And the real secret is if you take it in the bag, you just punch the bag like you're angry at life, and you just crunch up inside the bag. You don't open it yet. You just punch the heck out of the bag, crunch it up, open up the bag afterwards, and then you take the seasoning packet and pour in a little bit of the seasoning, and then you shake that up like a baby you don't want anymore, and then you eat it like that, and you got a snack. You got a dry snack.
I've never eaten ramen.
Really?
God, I've never done it before.
You've never done that? Okay, well, you now have homework for your next cooking stream. Okay, your next stream, please, while you're waiting for something to cook in the oven, you've got like 30 minutes to kill. Grab a bag of dry ramen. Checked and it, like, I recommend Mama ramen. Mama ramen dry is great. It's got that nice the ramen itself's got a nice crunch to it. If you break the ramen when it's dry and it doesn't give a really nice crack, it's not a good ramen to use for this. It's got to be one of those like really nice crunch crack ramens. Don't do it with Shin. There you go. I wouldn't do it with cup ramens either. Cup ramen, not great for this. But then you take it, then you crunch it up inside its bag, open it up, put a little bit of seasoning packet and eat it. Some Asian places just have that as its own snack. Like there's its own snack brand that you go to the chips aisle. What? Like I know Japan has some brands that do this, but there are just entire ramen chips brands that's pre-crunched up ramen with seasoning in there, and you just eat that like the snack. They actually just sell that pre-crunched up and pre-seasoned.
I'm gonna try it after this.
Yeah, it's good. It's real good. And I've done this a lot in college, where like I woke up, I gotta get a snack, and so I'll just grab a ramen pack, and in the car I'll just like while I'm driving I'll just crunch it up in my hand, and while I'm walking into college I'll just like eat it right out of the bag like that. Because
did you get any weird looks? Like,
dude, you're in college. You think people are gonna give you weird looks for eating ramen in college? Like, you think I can afford hot water? Like, God. Hot water is expensive and hard to get sometimes, okay? Sometimes you just gotta eat ramen without anything else. Okay. So now that we've talked about the ramen and eating ramen without toppings, best ramen toppings.
I like to So one of the things I used to do is I would cook the ramen, but like I would turn it down to a simmer, and when I get to that point, I would like crack the egg into like the bed of noodles, so that I get like a poached egg,
Hell
like right in the
yeah.
middle, right? I like to add scallions and chili oil to my ramen.
Mm-hmm.
Chili oil, sesame oil, whatever I have in stock, and then maybe some togarashi, which is like Japanese chili flakes. But that's it. Like if I am hungry and I need something that's a little bit dressed up, that's as far as I'll go.
I'll always do the egg and ramen. Egg and ramen is like always delicious. I also really like gochujang. So a little bit of gochujang, some Korean gochujang, and put like a little dab in there. Maybe some hoisin sauce for a little bit of depth, and punch it up with some bouillon, some chicken bouillon or beef stock. Put a little bit of that, a little bit less of the seasoning pack, and a little bit of bouillon, and also dry seaweed.
Oh yeah, dry seaweed.
Seaweed, the same kind of seaweed you use for miso soup. I'll just take a few of those and drop those in, give it that umami punch, and there you go. That's nori. Thank you.
Yeah.
Couldn't remember the type of seaweed. Nori seaweed, not like the. Yeah. And if you've never cooked with nori before, you get it, and it's like tiny, tiny, tiny little pieces of seaweed, and then you put it in, and it grows. It's like one of those toys you got at the store, and it grows like 10 times the size. And I've made the mistake where the first time I used it, I'm like, how much do I want? I don't know, like a spoonful, and I ended up just eating a bowl of seaweed.
Right. Like this, like tiny like nuggets, and then like they just expand.
Yeah, I'm like, oh man, I made a mistake. I guess I'm eating seaweed ramen with my seaweed today, because that's a lot of seaweed in there. Jeez Louise. So, all right, well, hey guys. This is Make Things Monday, and being Make Things Monday, it's time to check out some things that you have done and things that we have done. I am going to, we'll start off with some stuff that Hunger Service has done. And Hunger Service, we've got a bunch of photos here.
Yeah, I just threw a bunch in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so these photos, if you want to submit some things for us to share and to look at, you can go over to Discord and go over to the Make Things Monday channel, submit things there. We do take submissions throughout the weeks, and then we'll look at it during next week's shows. I would normally announce to you who the next week guest is, but haven't gotten confirmation back yet, so I still can't tell you who the next week's guest is. I can probably tell you they're probably cool. If they're not cool, well, we'll just kick them off and we'll pick someone else on instead. Like literally, 10 minutes into the show, I didn't like him. I was like, all right, get out of here. We'll pick someone else on. That's what happens.
Next guest, right?
Yeah. All right, Hunker, tell us about some of these photos. What's going on here? Is this you?
No, oh yeah, totally. This is me.
Okay.
No. This is my friend Nifty. We are doing basically our friend Celtis. She's a streamer as well. She created this artwork of a frog witch, and my friend Beth or Nifty here, she was like, "Hey, can I cosplay?" I was like, "If you're gonna cosplay it, I'm gonna photograph it." And it just all culminated into a shoot that we did last weekend, not this weekend, but the weekend before.
And so these are recent.
Yeah, very.
Nice.
These two photos that you just put up. The first weekend of the year pretty much, and then that's my roommate. She just got a new car because her car broke down during Christmas break, and she's like, "Can I do a shoot?" I'm like, "Yeah, let's go to the top of a garage."
Hey, I got a question about these top of garage car shoots. Why does no one ever park their car properly? Like, why is that the way you park a car during a shoot? It's always at a 45-degree angle.
Because that you can see the body of the car and the wheels.
Why can't we just park our car properly, in between the lines, and then take the photo shoot? Like, why we gotta do that?
You got to be edgy, man. You got to
look. I want to make sure people know that I respect other people's space and respect their parking, and I am going to park my car in its proper place. Okay.
Sometimes we just need a little bit of chaos in order. So it's fine. It's fine.
I've never seen a photo shoot of a car being parked properly. That's all I'm saying.
Right. You're absolutely right, though. This is a photo I did at Katsucon, which was
pre-COVID.
Pre-COVID, yeah.
That's what it was before COVID.
Right. Which is something I'm still happy with this photo because I just love the motion in it. But
Hmm.
and then the last one is of my friend again, Beth. Beth lives not too far from here, so we do a lot of like fun shoots just to keep our brains running because of all COVID such. And this is Sophie from House Moon Castle. So
Nice. And so, you are starting to do some more photography this year, possibly.
yes.
People being a little bit better. You're in Florida, so good luck.
Yeah, I actually just booked some family portraits last week, so for next month. So we'll see what happens. And the weddings that were moved from last year are coming up this year, so we'll see what happens. We'll see if that actually pans out. So yeah.
Yeah, cool. So here's what I worked on over the last week, and we've been doing some more of this. We made these during last week's stream for Make Things Money. It took me 9 hours to make all of these. It was way too long. Sliced them all up by hand. Our cutter wasn't working well, so I ended up taking an X-Acto knife and a straight edge to do all the cuts for it.
Serious?
Yep. It was each one of these took probably, well, let's see, 9 hours. We made 140 of them. Is how long to package all of these.
Yeah.
And so these are all my wife's stickers. And the reason we made these packages is we got in a store for the first time. So
Nice.
these are now in a store here in Houston. We're hoping to put these in some more stores. That's pretty exciting. And you can go there and we can see them like hung up and stuff. We're gonna drop by again in another week. We made a whole bunch of new designs for them that
I
are
love that
their
cat.
brand design. Yeah, the space cat. They're pretty
space cat.
great. Did you know that if you went into my Twitch channel and typed in ! sticker, you can get your own stickers? We ship them out to you wherever you are in the world. That's true. That's right. You could get these stickers on in your car or wherever. They're vinyl. They're waterproof. They're sunproof. Whatever.
Zeenigami.com/journeybunnyart. There you
Hell
go.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that took a long time to make all these. So now we're having these cut out by the same machine we use to cut out the stickers themselves. So the tabs, the machine gets to do a lot more work to that. So
smart.
that's saving a lot of time.
Smart. Yeah.
But these are fun. Really excited about that.
Mhm.
Here, well, now it's time to get into some other viewer stuff. Ryoklu, which is a fellow Houstonian, she's working on a new game. And these are with some classmates. They're two characters. Game called Detective Wolfric, an interactive visual novel.
Cute.
And my opinions of this is that I don't understand what's going on with this the second layer of his clothes. He's got his dress shirt, check.
Yeah.
He's got his coat, check. But there's something strange going on with this middle layer that looks like it's swathing him.
That's his bulletproof vest.
It's a sweater. That's what it is. I was told. It's a sweater.
It's a chef jacket.
It looks like, yeah, it does. It looks like a chef coat, but it also looks like it's swathed in like a towel. That's most of my feedback.
It's a security vest.
It's made to really cuddle you and make you feel warm during the day, make you feel secure.
Like a weighted blanket, except you carry it with you.
Yeah. Ryoklu is I know her from some other game development stuff here in Houston, so it'll be fun to see some more stuff. And this isn't the only game development stuff that we actually have posted. Another friend of ours is actually going to be working on a game, hopefully at the beginning of February, and we'll be able to follow along with that and see what they're up to for the ride, because there's a game jam that's going to be happening. I'm going to hope to see some
nice.
stuff with that.
Yeah.
All right. We also have from Candyware, and Candyware also is on the same. We are super fly. What are you?
We're super rare.
Super rare. There it is.
Yeah, I love Candy's art.
Turns out Candy has a lot of mutuals I didn't know. But yeah, here's her stuff. She is a official Disney artist. We're branding her as that. She is an official Disney artist. That's what she is.
Oh, okay. I dig it.
And here's her stickers. It's pretty
I love
cool.
that.
I know she does a lot of like sticker giveaways during her streams and stuff as well.
I love this. I survived 2020. Is that a pin at the bottom left?
Yep, that's a pin, and that's some stickers that she made recently for Chinese New Year and Survive 2020.
When is Chinese New Year again? Is it this month or is it next month? February. Okay.
Come on, man. You're Asian enough that you should know.
I'm Filipino, man.
It's all the same thing. We just call it different things. It's all Chinese New Year.
Okay.
Vietnamese New Year, Lunar New Year, Chinese New Year. It's all the same thing. Just we brand it differently.
That's interesting though, because like typically Filipinos don't celebrate Lunar New Year.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So fun fact.
Wow.
So it's always a mystery to me.
why are you guys boring Asians, man?
Hey, no, we got colonized. Okay, that's not our fault.
Well, we also have my brother who submitted this one. It's what are you editing in here? He's doing some video editing. I highly recommend if you're doing any video editing to use DaVinci Resolve. DaVinci Resolve is my favorite video editing software, and it's also free.
All right.
Love it. Highly recommend DaVinci Resolve.
About DaVinci Resolve.
Hell yeah. Is free.
Right,
There's a paid version, but unless you're working in film and you need multiple users and you need some like advanced color grading, basically unnecessary. You can do a lot of you can do everything you need with their basic tools.
Sold.
But he's been working on his streaming / video / music space, and they're redoing the walls, and I think this is what they ended up painting it. Yeah, I think, brother, is this the what the current standing of the wall is?
Love it.
Yeah, I think this is the start. I think this is what it currently looks like. Yeah, all right. I think this is a rendition of like the Pokemon opening.
Oh yeah. Gotta be very.
It looks so familiar. I can't place. I'm pretty sure this is like one of the scenes from the Pokemon opening. That's what it looks like to me.
I think that's gonna be a Voltorb on the top right. Yeah, it's gonna be fantastic. I love it.
No, that's clearly not a Voltorb. That's Loon, the moon Pokemon.
I don't know.
It's the opposite of Soul Rock.
Right, Soul Rock.
It's Moon Rock.
Moon Rock.
I can't remember the name of it. Okay, Lunala. Yeah, that one. Or the moon bat. It could also be a moon bat.
What's the moon bat?
There's a moon bat. Okay, there's a sun lion and a moon bat and Lunatone. God, how do you not know these things? They're basic information that everybody should know.
What generation is Lunatone?
Is Generation Hawaii.
Oh, Lola.
Yeah.
I got it.
This is a Hawaii gen. There's definitely too many Pokemon for me to keep track of. I don't know. I still play Pokemon, but golly, I cannot keep track of all of the names. Like I'm like, man shakes fist at kids on his porch and says there's too many Pokemon. Yeah, when you have enough Pokemon that it's like almost as many episodes as an anime One Piece, that's too many.
Wait, before you continue. Who is your Gen 1 starter?
Charmander.
Oh, okay.
What are you? You know he's your Squirtle.
I'm a Bulbasaur, man.
You're a Bulbasaur. Oh, you're one of those. Okay, listen, all right? Let me tell you something. You're either a Charmander, a Squirtle, or you're like whatever the heck that like onion is. Okay, you're a Charmander, you're a Squirtle, or you're some stupid. Nobody likes grass starters. The grass starters are objectively always the worst.
I mean, I like Bulbasaur. It's Bulbasaur.
Look, I'll be honest. No,
you know?
Grass starters are objectively, factually, undeniably the worst Pokemon of every single generation. They're always the worst starter.
Oh, but Chikorita?
Yeah, Chikorita's definitely the worst.
Rowlet. Yeah, Rowlet's a good one too. Come on, Rowlet.
Look, but you're comparing Rowlet to a sumo wrestling cat, okay? And they didn't make him a firefighter. So you thought, but he's not a firefighter, and that's what matters. Yeah, it's a wrestling cat. What's your owl gonna do? Look all emo and moody? I'm sorry. Look, it's the time for emo is long past. We can't be emo anymore. It's over. Emo's done. Emo's dead.
Now I'm looking up.
You're looking up Pokemon Generation starters.
Starters now. It's like, you know.
All right, welcome to our new podcast, Which Pokemon is the Worst? Starring Hunger Service and Zeenigami, where we talk about all the Pokemon and how they're all the best and the worst. Okay. How familiar are you with Pokemon? When was the last time you played Pokemon?
Sword and Shield.
Sword and Shield. Okay, so you know all the starter names at least.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go down the list. Gen 1 best starter. You're on Bulbasaur?
I'm definitely Bulbasaur.
All right, I'm on Charmander. Gen 2, okay. Best between Chikorita, Torchic, and Totodile. Not Chikorita, Cyndaquil, and Totodile.
I actually love Totodile though.
All right.
I switch between the three.
Cyndaquil is the best one. And here's the problem. Cyndaquil got done so dirty. Oh my god. No Pokemon in the history of Pokemon got done dirty like my boy Cyndaquil. They have ruined him. Like there's a crime against Pokemon for what they did to Cyndaquil ever since they gone to 3D. My poor boy.
Wait, I missed. Why?
What
I missed?
Have you seen Cyndaquil in 3D? Typhlosion in 3D specifically. Is Typhlosion in 3D? He doesn't have his sweet flame, and then he just looks like a boring little weasel or something. He doesn't have his sweet fire neck stuff. How are you gonna do a boy dirty like that? It's like you took a Charizard, he took out his wings and took out his fire tail. You can't just do that.
Right.
God.
Okay.
All right. Gen 3. Best starter of Gen 3.
Everyone talks about Mudkip, but I'm Torchic.
Torchic in Gen 3.
Yeah.
But I'm also on Torchic. I like Mudkip. Mudkip's got some good memes.
Right.
But I'm also on the Torchic crew. So we've
right.
agreed on that one. The first time we agree.
First fire starter. Yeah. There you go.
Gen 4. So far, you might notice I'm 3 for 3 on fire starters.
Right.
Gen
Piplup.
4. Piplup?
Piplup.
All right, Gen 4 is the only one I'll go with the grass starter.
Really?
Yeah. He's a sweet gigantic ground turtle with a tree on him. It's great. He is a badass looking grass turtle. Okay. That's my grass starter right there. Yeah, Turtwig. It's a good grass starter. He gets Torterra, looks badass as heck.
Okay. Okay, I'll give you that.
Gen 5.
Oshawott.
All right, as long as you're not on Snivy, because Snivy. I don't know how it's pronounced. I think it's pronounced Snivy. It's the worst. It's so bad. It's so bad. Oshawott's okay. Honestly, this is my least favorite gen for starters.
Yeah.
Honestly, Gen 5 has the worst starters of all.
Otters are adorable.
Oshawott is okay. Self-cooking ham is okay. Snivy is terrible. I just don't like them. Of all of them, I like Bacon because there's a part of me that loves naming my Pokemon after foods they could be. So instead of naming Torchic, we'll name it KFC, something like that. Right. We name it Bacon. If I can name it after foods, I'll name it. It's a self-cooking ham.
Self-cooking ham is so good.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Lechon. Yeah, it's Lechon.
I just dislike most of them. Gen 6.
Froakie.
Easy.
Frog. Hello, Frog.
Okay. I also really like Froakie because a Ninja Frog is awesome. I think Gen 6, going from Gen 5, from the worst Pokemon Gen 6 is the second best after Gen 1.
Right. Yeah.
Gen 6, all of them, we got a Night Otter, we got a Magician Fox, we got a Ninja Frog. They're great. I love Gen 6 starters. Yep. Second best because Gen 1 will always win. I'm also on Froakie crew. Also, Frokie's signature move is amazing.
What was his signature move?
Froakie, he's got an amazing moveset. His ability is his ability is Protean, so he's got the ability to turn into whatever element attack he uses. Right. And he also, his signature move is Mat Block and Water Shuriken. And so the Mat Block, it's like protect for your entire team without priority. So if you have a fast Froakie and you just use that move, your entire team gets protected. And it's so strong in doubles and stuff. Wow. It's great.
Okay.
Gen 7.
Rowlet.
You're on the Ghost Bird. Ghost Owl. Yeah. I'm gonna go with Lucha Libre Cat.
Lucha Libre Cat.
Yeah, because Lucha Libre Cat is not a firefighter, and I'm gonna give them points. They resisted so hard. I was about to be so upset when we found out about it. And I'm like, I thought it was gonna be a firefighter, but it's not. It's a Fire Dark. Damn, we got raw Rowlet people here. Like, Rowlet's definitely second, okay? Rowlet's second, but there's a reason Rowlet's not in Smash, but Lucha Libre Cat is. Finally, right. Gen 8.
Sobble.
Sobble Squad? Sobble Squad?
Secret agent. So, I love it.
I want it to be Sobble Squad so bad. So if we were basing it off of the very first evolution,
okay,
just the first evolution, I would also be on Sobble Squad.
Okay.
But he just gets uglier and uglier. Oh my god, he just, like, as Sobble evolves, he became that cute baby that just got uglier as he grew up, and it's so upsetting. He's such a good first generation that he just gets uglier. He gets yaoi hands, and it's terrible. God, I hate everything about him as he evolves. It just gets worse and worse and worse, okay? He's got yaoi hands. If you don't know what yaoi hands are, just Google yaoi hands. It's a thing in anime when all yaoi, everyone just gets gigantic hands, like big enough to hold your entire head in with yaoi hands. And that's all he has. And he's skinny as heck. It's so bad. Yes, you can Google yaoi hands at work. Look, if you're watching this at work, I'm sure you can Google yaoi hands at work anyways. Soccer Rabbit is great. Soccer Rabbit actually gets through those awkward teen years, and so does Drummer Monkey. Drummer Monkey's fine. Soccer Rabbit's fine. I'm on Soccer Rabbit, but then we got man, the saddest thing about Sobble is his growing up. Like, he gets so bad. I'm so upset. I was like, before it came out, I was Sobble Squad all the way, Sobble Squad, and then we just saw more, and I'm like, please let these leaks be wrong. Like, I just please be just a bad fan art of this. I don't want this. Oh my God. And it's just so bad. All right, so thanks for joining us for our Pokemon podcast talk. Yep. Hunger Service, thank you so much for joining me for Make Things Monday. My name's Zeenigami. I stream every day here on Twitch, teaching people how to be better Twitch streamers, and also just being Mondays, just gonna be some behind the scenes stuff. We're gonna continue streaming on Twitch. Today we're gonna learn how to actually, I'm just gonna be working on some OBS features. So I'm gonna be playing with a lot of scene transitions and making some effects happen. Hunger Service, what do you do?
I cook on stream simple and delicious food 3, maybe 4 days a week, and sometimes I'll game. But this week I'm on Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, so at 4 p.m. Eastern. So yeah, you'll typically see me down there. My schedules might be changing, but that's what's happening. So. And
where can we find you?
At twitch.tv/hungerservice, Instagram same name, and then Twitter hunger_service. So because there's a freaking character limit on Twitter. So.
Well, thank you, Hunger. Thank you guys so much for watching. Join us next week where my special guest will be a person with a camera and a microphone. And on Twitter, I'll announce who it is because they still haven't confirmed, so I can't really confirm who it is for next week yet. So looking forwards to that. Thanks so much for watching. Y'all stay beautiful. Bye.